Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The stage is set at one of motorsport's most historic venues, Silverstone Circuit, for the Season 15 finale of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge here on Apex Racing TV. 90 minutes to decide it all. I'm Greg Ginsburg alongside Larry Lefty McLeod, and of course we got Jonathan Grabowski bringing you all the best views of tonight's action. 2 championships, they're already sealed. Josh Chinsky has claimed the GTP title, and Corey Cercone, with his 6th win 2 weeks ago at Long Beach, has all but locked up GT3 AM. But the fight is far from over in those 2 classes. In GTP, Tanner Dibble, Ben Rose, and Jordan Butler, all from DNA Motorsports, are separated by just 31 points to see who's best of the rest. And in GT3 AM, the margin is even tighter, with just 19 points between Dan Carrido, James Vogler, and Josh Vidal in the last race showdown for runner-up honors. In GT3 Pro, though, Larry, the championship is anything but locked up. The Wrong Stuff's Michael Brooks leads, but after a 5th place finish at Long Beach, the door is open wide, with 5 other drivers still mathematically in the hunt to be named World Challenge Champion. For 90 minutes in one final race, Silverstone will demand everything, Larry: speed, precision, and definitely endurance.
is about endurance. 90 minutes of it tonight, Greg. How are we going to make it through 90 minutes of, as I always say, one of my favorite tracks on the platform, but actually I do mean it this time. I love Corner of Cops.
You always say that, Larry.
I do know this one, the Hanger Straight. I know this track. Actually, I like the old classic version layout, but I'll handle the new infield. It's fine. But tonight is going to be great. 90 minutes of this. This should be interesting. I don't think I've ever done an endurance race at Silverstone of any sort beyond a typical sprint. This will be a fun one, and being the finale of a season, it's always exciting because we're going to talk to not only race class winners tonight, but we're going to talk to championship winners, hopefully. And I think we're even going to have someone serenade us here pre-race, but we'll get to him in a few minutes. But yeah, let's.
So Larry, when you say you like the classic circuit, is that because you were here in 1948 when Silverstone
I like the
opened?
90s classic. I'm not nearly your age, Craig.
Thank you very, very much. All right, so we've got our GTP racers, Jordan Butler, currently your provisional pole sitter for DNA Motorsports, and that bodes well for him in that battle with his teammates to come home second in the championship as Josh Chinsky from SRT Esport. He's already wrapped things up. He is at the moment second fastest in GTP as Speed Lab qualifying here has about 5 minutes remaining, where we give our racers 4 flying laps and those 15 minutes in order to set their fastest flying laps. Over in GT3 Pro, Mike Dam, currently your provisional pole sitter as he works his final flying lap. Michael Brooks from The Wrong Stuff, your championship leader, there is currently second fastest, and that is the best he is going to do as he has just completed his final flying lap, 1300ths of a second back from Mike Dam, and perhaps seeing that, Mike Dam just called off his final lap. Over in GT3 AM, the privateer James Vogler is your fastest driver at the moment. He's working his final flying lap here in qualifying. Corey Saccone, your championship leader, and I think we can call it now, Larry, although there is a very, very slim chance that he would not win the championship. I think pretty much all he has to do is take the start tonight, and I think he'll wrap it up. Corey Saccone, second fastest, about 0.3 of a second back from Vogler at the moment. Third fastest, Dan Carrido.
Yeah, Corey's been so quick all season long. We'll see where he ends up. Like you say, he really just kind of has to take that flag tonight, but the battle behind him is going to be really good. And we haven't talked yet about our GT3 Pro battle that is still alive between one of the Brooks brothers, of course, and one of the Ethan Bass guys. Oh yeah, the Ethan Bass.
Ethan Bass, who was our season 14 champion.
Yes, he's trying to repeat. And, of course, there's a Wrong Stuff. Michael Brooks trying to prevent that from happening. So that'll be a good one to watch as tonight winds around. And, and so also there's been an Aaron Sunday appearance as he decides he wants to hide in somewhere along the wall, but that's okay. We'll catch up with Aaron. He's getting his gravel.
As long as he doesn't get caught by the fountain, Larry, I think he'll be fine.
Well, he's getting his gravel inspections out of the way here pre-green flag. Smart move.
That's right. All right. So as we've got qualifying wrapping up here, and we're on board right now with Pan Hirde from Lead Paw Racing, running 8th fastest right now in AM. Larry, I think this is as good a time as any. You always talk about your favorite circuits here. I'm going to talk about my favorite interview guest, only because you're the one who asks some of the questions. Let's bring in from D2D Sim Racing. And Larry, he just disappeared.
Wow.
Perhaps a little shy tonight. We were going to talk to Bobby Childs, who is going to be talking about the upcoming season of the World Challenge, as well as the the Sports Car Challenge as well. Hopefully we'll have him back in at some point during the race.
Hopefully. I was looking forward to talking to Bobby. He's got a lot of things to bring to the table tonight about our future of our multiple series here. And as well as I just like to catch up with Bobby. It has been a while. He's been hit or miss, making a couple of these races lately.
Mainly hit.
When he's hit, he's hit. But when he misses, he's not here. But he's certainly a fan favorite as well as a favorite of. We tease him, but he is definitely one of our favorites.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hoping the next minute and a half we can get him back in here. Otherwise, I don't want to cheer for him to be an early out because,
No.
he can make a good interview guest during a 90-minute race too.
Well,
But he's
Larry, there's always that opportunity.
it's happened before. It did happen when we did a 90-minute at Le Mans. Bobby came in and did about 15 minutes of kind of middle relief for us. So we'll see if he does that tonight.
Exactly. All right. So as the clock is now winding down, we've got just a few moments here left in qualifying, about a minute left. And I believe Panhirde from Lead Paw Racing is our only driver left on track. Just completed his fourth and final flying lap, Larry. He is going to start tonight's race in 8th position in AM. And I think that's going to put him somewhere along the lines of 21st amongst all of our GT3 racers as Speed Lab qualifying at Silverstone wraps up.
All right. Well, that should bring us to our grid for the 90-minute event.
Yeah, except I think, Larry, we're going to have to wait another 30 seconds for
You know what? We can do this live. I know we're experiencing a little bit of graphic issues tonight. No problem. I'll take the prototypes if you want to attempt the GT3s, or would you like the prototypes?
We can absolutely do that tonight, Larry. And I'm checking in, and we've got Rachel Sunday giving the history of Silverstone here, as she has done for many of the tracks. I think she's talking about, oh no, not Lindsay Buckingham. That's Buckinghamshire. That's right, same thing. All
right, I'll take the prototypes.
Mick Fleetwood being the Brit in that band. All right.
So there we go. Look at that, John. Doing a wonderful job tonight. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. On the grid tonight for our GTPs. On the pole, on the front row, it's all DNA. Lockout, Tanner Dibble will be on the pole tonight, leading them into turn 1. Jordan Butler, his teammate, on the outside. Row 2, Josh Chinsky from SRT Esport will take the inside. And hey, look, it's another SRT Esport, Jake Vasconcelos on the outside. And then why not go 2x2 all the way through? Row 3, it's Aaron Beaver on the inside and D2D, and Bobby, avoid the interview, Childs, D2D Sim Racing on the outside of row 3.
Exactly. All right. So, Larry, and we're seeing in the chat now that Josh Chinsky is actually in a hotel room with a folding sim rig and a VR headset and the best Logitech. We should talk to Ethan Bass over at Orbit Drop Bear, the Logitech G Orbit Drop Bear Motorsports. Yeah. Actually, they might have actually ponied up for.
You know what scares me is the worst part of that setup is going to be the internet quality in that hotel. The rest of it sounds perfect.
Absolutely. Unless, of course, he's in like Singapore or something. All right, let's run down our GT3 racers. Larry, starting on pole tonight for Orion Race Team. In his Ferrari, it is Mike Dam. Starting to the outside of the first row. In his Aston Martin, driving the number 83 Wrong Stuff entry, it's Michael Brooks. Brian Bennett will start on the inside of row number 2 in his McLaren for Sector 5 Racing with Joey Rutledge from the Wrong Stuff, starting on the outside of row number 2. Then we got Chase West and Taj Edwards from the Wrong Stuff and the Orion Race Team. They will start 5th and 6th. And then your GT3 AM pole sitter, James Vogler, will start in 7th position alongside Ilya Speaker from the Rockefeller Racing Team. Starting in 8th, it is your championship leader in GT3 AM, Corey Ciccone. He's going to start 2nd in the class tonight and in 15th position overall alongside Ethan Bass. Then we've got Travis Schwenke from the Orion Race Team starting next to Charlie Hosea in his Mercedes. Then we've got Avon Dorsey, another Rockefeller Racing entry in his Porsche, starting alongside Dan Carrillo. Next, we've got David Fernandez from Sector 5 Racing. Fernandez also in a Porsche alongside Keith Stein from Rockefeller Racing. Stein, I believe, our sole racer in a Corvette here tonight. Then we've got Michael Klimovich from Slow Bros Racing, starting alongside Stephen May from Mayforce. Next, we've got, Aaron Sunday from OHND in his Mercedes. Then we've got Chester Guidry from HTPK Racing. Panhirde from Lead Paw. Then John, starting alongside John Casey from Frito Sport. And then we've got Jeff Jacobs alongside Noah Hogg as our GTP racers, Larry, get the green flag, and we are racing here at Silverstone. 90 minutes, final race of the season. Tanner Dibble, teammate to Jordan Butler, 1-2, going through the opening turns and through Abby now with Josh Chinsky, our leader in the championship for SRT Esport, sitting in third as our GT3 racers now take the green. Mike Dam alongside Michael Brooks. Both of these drivers in the hunt for the Season 15 GT3 World Challenge Championship. Mike Brooks, he's got a lot easier run to it than Dam. Dam's got to make up a ton of points, but they also have Joey Rutledge from the Wrong Stuff right behind. And having problems early on, it looks like Michael Klinovich about midway back in the pack, dropping about 5 positions as he now tries to make up ground, Larry.
Yeah, not bad through the first couple of corners here. Pretty clean. Saw some folk capitalizing on the shortest distance between 2 points sort of line. That seems to have worked out. Up in the front, though, it is still those two DNA Motorsport entries leading the SRT Esport duo of Chinsky and Vasconcelos. And just everybody kind of sorting things out, warming up tires. And I love watching prototypes flow through Maggots Beckett. You just see there's a rhythm to it as each of these S's get slightly tighter all the way through. It's amazing when you get it right in these kind of cars, how fast that could be. And there's that tire warming all the way at the front. Tanner Dibble making sure first time through Stowe that he's got nice warm tires. They're not warm yet. It's the UK. We're surprised that it's not raining.
Well, believe it or not, Larry, no forecast for rain here tonight, but temperatures in the mid-60s, and that's Fahrenheit, not centigrade or Celsius, because, well, that would be really, really hot here. So, watch. Now, door to door, it is Joey Rutledge and Taj Edwards as they go down into, where are they going into, Larry? They are heading into Village right now, I guess.
I believe they're actually at the end of the lap here.
Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, they are.
Yep.
Good call, Larry.
Through the final chicane, past the pit in. I believe that's where they are. No, maybe they're not. Try to get this all sorted out. That is the front straight. The new front straight.
Now they are.
To me, Cops is still turn 1. I get so confused sometimes. As the old days back in the 90s, Greg. Cops was turn 1.
When this was your favorite course.
It was back then.
That's
all right, good shot.
Somebody at XMS thought Cops was turn 1 also, so that's fine.
Yeah, it could be. All right, but a good shot of Aaron Sunday here, side by side with Noah Hogg, who's making his move from the back. I believe he started a few spots down, already up about 5 places here early in this race. Trying to hold off
7, as a matter of fact, Larry.
Yeah, trying to hold off Aaron Sunday there. And he seems to be able to do that there. And then behind Aaron, of course, I think that's going to be Stephen May. Should be right behind him. Actually, it's Pan here today behind him.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that's Hiraday, who has made up 2 positions already in that orange McLaren for Lead Paul Racing.
This is Cops. I love this corner. You just have to have the trust to chuck it in there, hope it sticks, and then you carry all that speed all the way up to Maggots and Beckett's.
And Larry, the one person it did not stick for was Travis Schwenke, as we were on board with David Fernandez there just a moment ago. Schwenke running very wide, ends up losing 4 spots, now drops back to 12th in pro.
Quick replay here of Josh Chinsky still warming up the tires. That's one way to get him a little extra warm. Maybe some rear lock up there. Manages to get it back on without losing too much gap. He'll be back in this thing before it's over. He's only 10 seconds back from the lead.
Plenty of time to make that up, as he is now hounding Bobby Childs just ahead.
Bobby No-Show Childs?
It's Bobby, exactly. Well, if we watch this sequence, we may have Bobby in the announce booth with us in the next 30 to 40 seconds.
That wouldn't just be an announcer's curse. That would be some sort of black magic. As Bobby almost disappears for a second. Maybe it's coming true. Bobby's having connection issues. Maybe that's why he dropped off the interview booth. His connection wasn't great. Maybe he's in a hotel somewhere with a Logitech joystick or something. Look at Chinsky, though, closing up through Beckett's, just that speed around Chapel, down the hanger straight, a little bit of draft. Bobby's probably not going to put up much of a fight here.
No, I wouldn't expect that he would.
Bobby's going to hold the inside line, put a little bit of fight, but the outside line here is not bad. It is so fast around Stowe. Still, though, Bobby with the inside line up into the Vale chicane. It looks like Josh has that pass done.
Yeah, it took a lot of curb there going into 16 and 17 going through the Vale chicane, but he is going to, as he comes back out onto the front straight to complete lap number 3, now takes over 5th position after having dropped 2. Speaking of, go ahead, Larry.
I'm sure, speaking of favorite tracks, I'm sure Ethan Bass is probably a favorite of his. It's probably the closest track on the platform to his own house, as he, again, has to work his way through the pack. We've talked about this week after week, it seems, that he loves the run through the field, that consistency, those long runs to work his way up. And the one time where he started on the pole, he ended up having some issues from the front row anyway.
Yeah, from the front row anyhow, exactly.
Yep, here he is, already got his way up into the top 10, I believe, early in this race. There's a good battle. The AM battle lead there between James Vogler and Corey Sarcone.
Yeah, and it was interesting, Larry, and I wanted to thank you for say thank you for not showing up at Long Beach 2 weeks ago. But I want to thank Jeremy Scott for sitting in 2 weeks ago at Long Beach. Ethan Bass had a great qualifying at Long Beach and took it all the way to 2nd place. He I believe started on the outside of the front row and was able to hold that position through the entire course of the race. Did not have to work from the back of the pack, as he seemingly so often does. Just had that pace right out of the gate.
Yeah, he seems to always have great pace. Good to hear that he had one actually starting near the front even. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
But let's keep our eyes on drivers starting near the back. Again, Noah Hogg was one of them. Already up 9 spots according to my timing scoring. Either way, it's a lot as he goes through Cops. It just right then in front of him is Chester Gidry. We know Chester and Noah have had a lot of really good battles over the last couple of months, and tonight could be shaping up to another one.
As we jump back over to GTP, and it is Dibble and Butler, your top 2. Again, both from DNA Motorsports. And again, there is this really tight fight now between Dibble, Rose, and Butler for 2nd in the GTP Championship. Dibble came into the night running 2nd in the class with 337 points, 13 points up on Ben Rose. Butler, he's got the biggest hoe to row here if he wants to move up in the 2nd place. He comes into the night with only 306 points. So and honestly, Larry, if I'm looking with only 6 GTP entries tonight, I don't know if that is actually mathematically possible for Ben Rose to take the to take 2nd place. But we'll
only 6 entries. It's tough to finish 7th.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we're watching the battle here amongst the GT3 drivers. Chester Gidry out of Pro, Noah Hogg out of AM, but doesn't mean the battle isn't just as good, and it is. And Aaron Sunday's got a good view from behind as these guys head in through Brooklands. Look at this, side by side through these switchbacks. Aaron may be looking at an opportunity if he can hug that inside line in his Mercedes. Maybe he'll get a run into Cops from here. We'll keep an eye on this. Good pass so far for Hogg as he's able to get past Gidry, see if he can hold him off as they head to Cops. Better to be on the inside here.
Inside, yes. Ask Lewis Hamilton that, actually, or I guess ask Max Verstappen that.
Yes. I'm sure Lewis would agree. Being on the inside was much better.
Exactly.
Gidry very good here through the S's. Keeping right up on the back of the Porsche of Hogg. And looks like Gidry maybe even gotten a better run down the hanger straight. Noah's going to have to go defensive heading into Stowe.
Oh, and pop into the inside. Oh, doesn't get quite close enough. He tucks right back in behind the Porsche, and he's going to follow through as they run down through Vale.
Oh, it looks like Aaron trying to maybe do the same thing behind these two, just popping into mirrors, faking some moves, but is not to be. Look how much faster through that chicane, though, Noah Hogg is, and the pressure that Gidry is under now from Aaron Sunday.
Right at the top of the rev range there as he gets under braking, going into Abbey, and I know, Larry, that there's so much about Maggots and Beckett's and going through the S's there, but this first part of the course, I kind of like these big open corners.
Yeah. You mean the part that those new corners that weren't part of the track back in the 90s?
Exactly.
That
yes.
part? Okay.
Yes. Hey, it's
you're
me just trying to relive my misforgotten youth, or maybe my forgotten youth for that matter. All right,
here's a good look.
All right, here's Ethan Bass with Joey Rutledge, the battle for fifth. And as Bass moves to the inside, and he's able to hold off the reversal from the wrong stuff driver, and he gets around. Actually, that was Chase West. Pardon me, not Joey Rutledge.
Yeah, great pass, though, for Ethan. Again, working his way through this field. He's just continued to pick them off one by one. As who's next on the list? It may be Joey Rutledge. The other wrong stuff.
He's Rutledge is about 2 seconds up the road, I think.
Not too far to catch at the pace that Ethan Bass has been going the last couple laps. And you can see already that he's working his way through. Let's catch to the front, though. That's Mike Dam, who's been leading this group since the green flag. Michael Brooks, Taj Edwards now in third. Brian Bennett did a good job, pick up a couple of spots. Edwards, the big mover, though, towards the front of the field, up to third.
Yeah, so Dam came into the evening fifth in the championship. And Michael Brooks, who he's leading right now, your leader coming in with, I believe, 42 points. Separating Brooks from Dam. So again, it'd be very difficult. It would have to be a very bad night for Michael Brooks for Mike Dam to overtake him here in the championship. Ethan Bass, though, only 20 points back from Brooks coming into the evening, and another 10 points back from there is Brooks's wrong stuff teammate, Joey Rutledge.
Yeah, I think Bass seems to have the best chance in all this, but first thing he'll have to do is to work his way to the front and get around the championship leader, Michael Brooks. Bass is moving quickly. He's definitely been the quickest of the GT3 cars so far, but Brooks has done a great job now of getting into a groove here, sticking to the back of Mike Dam, and just letting the race come to him. And if you're up by 20 points in the final round of a championship, that's exactly how you're supposed to drive it. Oh, look at that line for Bass through Copse. If you could just rub the inside curbing with the right front of that car, that you are just nailing the entry on these. And look how much curb he takes here through Maggots Beckett's. It's just absolute poetry, just watching him float that car through. Beautiful stuff.
All right, with almost 15 minutes in the books in our 90-minute race here from Silverstone, the season 15 finale, Tanner Dibble, he is your GTP leader in his DNA Motorsports Acura. His teammate Jordan Butler running in second, almost 3.5 seconds back from there. And over in GT3, Mike Dam, your leader in GT3 Pro, Michael Brooks second, Taj Edwards third, and in AM, it's James Vogler and Corey Saccone 1-2.
Yeah, another one, Corey Saccone, making sure he stays right there as the championship leader. Doesn't need to make any risky moves. Just got to keep Vogler in his sights, and that's exactly what he's doing so far. Doesn't even need to make the pass if he's got 90 minutes. He's got pit stops in front of him, so may as well just hang in there and see how this race unfolds.
Yeah, and and Larry, a couple of weeks ago at Long Beach, that seemed to be the strategy. Sarcone came home with the GT3 AM win, but he made sure to put himself in a nice little pocket between any of the pro drivers, so that he would have a fairly easy run of it in both stints. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll try to do the exact same thing here tonight as we watch now Chase West from the Wrong Stuff. We saw Ethan Bass make that pass on him just a couple of laps ago. Chase has got the two Mercedes, the two Rockefeller Racing Mercedes of Speaker and Charlie Hosea starting to close down on him just as our GTP leaders are coming through.
Yeah, this will make things interesting in this little three-way battle. Once Ethan Bass got through them, he seems to have checked out just a little bit, but that has put Chase West right under the pressure of those two Rockefeller Racing as these GTPs come through. So that always makes these battles difficult, or maybe opportunities, depending on which end of that passing GTP comes through at that time.
And Larry, looks like Aaron Beaver in the number 97 D2D BMW just had a bit of a trouble here. Yeah, just loses the rear end and then really loses the rear end. That
was unusual at best. There was a whole lot of weirdness to that there for him. So I don't know if that was a sim issue or just a car locked up.
Checking up with with three GT3 cars ahead of him. It seemed very, very odd there. The rear end just let go on him. And so now Aaron Beaver on the pit lane in the pits. We'll see if and when he returns. And Larry, I think he may have exited the race.
Yeah, Elvis may have left the building. Well, not that Elvis. This one. Our Elvis might be at this live track for all we know.
Larry, was that Bobby Childs?
No.
So many issues for D2D sim racing, but he gets the car back underway. Let's take a look, see what happened.
Okay, keep an eye on him. Where is he at? Just loses the back end.
Yeah.
No contact. He luckily saved it. Yeah, definitely rough going right now for our friends at D2D in these BMWs. All right.
All right, so he's now on. Where is he? He's coming out past the old pit straight.
Yep. He just went through Cops, heading towards Megan Beckett's.
Yep.
And he'll follow the Rockefeller Racing GT3 Porsche through the S's. Should be Avon Dorsey. And look at the speed delta through that down the Hanger Straight. He's got Travis Schwenke in his sights now. He's going to wait for Travis.
And I'm just wondering, Larry, perhaps when we saw Bobby go around, because I think it was wasn't it going into Brooklands? I think where he went around, and I'm just wondering with a very slow corner like that, and probably even slower because he had the GT3 cars fanned out on him. Maybe just got into the throttle a little bit too hard, trying to pull out of that corner as we jump back, as we've got SRT's Josh Chinsky trying to figure out what to do with Elias Speaker and Charlie Hosea ahead.
Well, after his one early miscue, he's still lost a little bit of pace. The three in front of him are all running pretty deeply into the 47s. Josh running a little bit slower, only able to get the 48s and 49s. But again, from a championship standpoint, he's not too concerned with what happens. He just wants to finish this race.
Looked like Chase West got a little caught out there as Chinsky came through, as if he didn't realize the 963 driver was right alongside him. And it has given Charlie Hosea and Elias Speaker maybe a little bit of a fighting chance here to pick up a position.
Well, here comes Charlie, trying to push to the back of Chase, not able to do it before they get into the Maggots Beckett's. Got to go back to single file through here, but if he sets him up right, maybe he can get a run down to Stowe. Let's see who gets the better exit one of the Rockefeller Racing Mercedes, or is it Chase West? And I have a feeling Hosea got a pretty good run. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get alongside, though. West is going to hold middle ground.
Yeah, he got a great run, Larry, out of Chapel that he ended up picking up almost a car length and a half, almost maybe closer to 2 car lengths as they made the run down the Hanger Straight.
Yeah. Yeah, Bobby Charles making his presence known. Yep. Yeah, it was good. So one thing about Stowe is you have to really be on the inside. If you get a little bit wide there, it's a big, fast corner, but for some reason the outside line just doesn't have the grip like the inside does. So being on the inside, being defensive there is a great way to hold your line all the way down then to the Vale chicane. Yeah, that was it's a great defensive line there for Chase West to hold on, at least for now, as we check in with our leaders.
We go back to Mike Dam from Orion in his Ferrari, his Canadian Ferrari. And Michael Brooks, our championship leader, about a second back. Just made up a lot of ground, though, I think, as Chinsky's coming through. But Brooks, he's been challenged almost all night there by Taj Edwards and his team. And Sector 5's Brian Bennett, who had a great run. At Long Beach. Is Charlie Hosea now. The last we were watching, Larry, he was right there with Chase West, and now he's right there on the pit lane. Let's see what happened.
And he hip checks Bobby, who tried to save it, and then Charlie went into save it mode. Hits head on into that Armco on the right side. That's unfortunate because he was in a great battle for quite a while there with Chase West and, of course, teammate Ilya Speaker. So Charlie's going to have to get into the pits for some repairs. Rockefeller Racing Mechanics. There's the first bump. That might have sent Bobby into a bit of a slide, which then the reaction to set off this chain reaction. Ouch. That's a big one.
Yeah. And then the nose goes tumbling end over end directly ahead. All right, we'll jump back over with Sircone now closing up. And Larry, you said early on that Sircone had great pace as he's now pulled up to our GT3 AM leader tonight, James Vogler, the only privateer in the field, as they are running 9th and 10th amongst all of our GT3 racers here this evening. But Sircone had been lapping, at pretty similar pace, couple tenths, yeah.
They've been reasonably close all night. I think it goes back to Sircone taking his time, doesn't need to press it, but if he could put a little bit of pressure on Vogler, maybe try to get a mistake out of him, then the lead will come to him. But for now, he doesn't have to make any risky pass because the championship situation dictates there's no need to.
No need.
And there you can see they're just swapping 10th here, 10th there between the two of them. But they're not far behind the battle of Chase West and Ilya Speaker. There you can see them. They're just ahead of this, and of course that's where Charlie Hosea was till he just had his incident. So keep your eye on West and Speaker. They are battling, and there you can see right off the hood line of Vogler's Porsche, or I guess the trunk line. You can see that battle in front of them. So, yeah, we'll see if these two behind that seem to be playing nice. Their pace actually is faster than those in front, and could make things interesting. Oh, Stephen Hudak says James is running his old paint, but he is the newest member of SRT as of the end of the Long Beach round. So,
how
way
do you
to go,
like
James. But this is not good. I don't like this. Michael Klimovich through the grass, through the woods, over to Grandma's house we go, and back on the track. I have a feeling with a
new
slowdown.
Track
even.
record from Michael Klimovich.
Yeah, that was appeared to be a pretty wild ride there for him. So hopefully Michael's got that car back on the way. But yes, there's who we're talking about, James Vogler, the newest member of SRT Esports. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen.
As he's been active in the chat tonight.
Well, I mean, what else does he have to do? Birthday boy. Happy birthday, Stephen.
All right, so this is interesting. Looking at this, we had said Michael Brooks didn't really have to do much tonight. He just can sit behind Mike Dam all night. But now he's got Mike Dam's teammate, Taj Edwards, hot on his heels. So Michael Brooks, I wonder if going through his mind right now, could he just be conservative and just let Taj go and don't worry about it? He can win the championship from third place, no big deal. I know we got a lot of wrong stuff supporters here in the chat. Of course, Anna's in the chat cheering on Michael, of course. So we'll see. Maybe they know a little bit something we don't. Maybe Michael's up for the race competition. Maybe he's up to just clinch the championship.
Larry, the chances of them knowing more than me are, I'd say, at least 35%. Maybe higher.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Taj definitely putting the pressure on Michael Brooks for that second position, and Taj has been quick. Passed a number of drivers already to get to this position.
And Larry, Bobby Childs has just been given a stop-and-go penalty for the contact with Charlie Hosea.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting in that there was contact before that. This is
Yeah.
that is not.
I wonder if that was Bobby's
condoned.
stop and go. He just did it right in the middle of the circuit. Does that count?
It does not, Bobby. But interesting watching the replay there of the Hosea and Bobby Childs. Bobby maybe had gotten pushed from Hosea on the one side. I thought Bobby's car was still oscillating back into Hosea's. They might have felt like Bobby moved over and didn't expect Hosea to still be there, and maybe that's the ruling leading to that black flag.
Likely what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's check back in with Tanner Dibble, our leader in GTPs. He's now opened up 4.5 seconds on his DNA teammate, Jordan Butler.
Yeah, pretty strong series of laps there out of Tanner Dibble to pull away from the battle of Butler and Vasconcelos. Keep an eye on Vasconcelos. He actually, I believe at one point, had the fastest lap of the race, still pretty close to it. He's been hot on the heels of Jordan Butler really since the green flag dropped. So I know he's going to carry that SRT eSport flag proudly tonight and see if he can maybe help things out for the team, break up this DNA Motorsports entries. But Jake continuing to pressure on the back of Jordan Butler.
Yeah, Vasconcelos had been lapping about a second or so faster than Butler, and I think, Larry, as they just hit some traffic, the tables have been turned somewhat as Butler's now opened up a little bit more of an advantage. He's currently sitting about 5 seconds as Bobby Childs comes down the pit lane to serve his stop-and-go penalty.
Oh, you mean stop and go has to be in your pit stall?
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Who would have thunk?
I know.
All right, let's
Maybe
check
Lance
in
Heinrich
with
was gonna
Ilya
do it.
Speaker, who was part of that three-way battle with his teammate Charlie Hosea, as well as this person right here, Chase West in the Wrong Stuff McLaren. And much like West was defending against Charlie Hosea, great job there. Just positioning the car just a couple of car lengths, not even half a car length over to hold him off.
Yeah, watching this battle, you also have the battle of two different types of cars. Of course, you got that front-end Mercedes, you got the mid-engine McLaren, and they come out of corners differently. But look at this. The opportunity here as Speaker tries to hold the inside and keep West from cutting him off. West doesn't buy it. He gets in there just enough to hold that position. That was interesting. Thought maybe there was going to be opportunity there, but good job for Chase West.
Yeah.
Just not giving anything.
No, I mean, you come down in the village there, Larry, and he had the right idea going to the inside, but the way the track opens back up for the next two corners, it would have been very difficult for him to make that pass from the outside. And it's really a very wide track. I think somewhere along the lines of, if I remember correctly, isn't it about 19 yards, almost 20 yards wide? So almost everywhere around this track. So if West wanted to hold him out there, he could. And Speaker has to start all over again as we go back. And here we go. Jordan Butler now with Jake Vasconcelos. And Vasconcelos with a great look to the inside.
Oh, that's contact. He recovers. Wow. That was tight as they were coming into Brooklands there. Just good racing. Let's see what the replay looks like from the Cunningham chopper. Look at the run for Jake down the Wellington straight. He's got position. He's nudging. He breaks a little bit earlier. I think it's going to hurt him here, and then doesn't break enough.
No, I was going to say, not enough.
I think Butler expected Jake to be just a little bit tighter to that apex there, and he wasn't. To me, that's a racing incident. They may not even look at that one. But the good news is Jake recovered very quickly, and this battle is going to continue. Also about Jake, it looks like Steven Hudek in the chat says Jake has been quick all week, even faster than Steven in practice. Not that Steven's racing tonight. But Jake has been faster, so no surprise, at least to the SRT eSport team, that Jake is doing what he's doing here.
All right, as they both take a look to the inside of Stephen May's McLaren and sneak on by.
I know there's such a thing as the commentator's curse. Talking about a driver and how good they're doing sometimes can lead to a bad incident right away. I'm waiting to see if there's a wife curse. As Rachel's in the chat describing exactly how many spots that Aaron Sunday is
made up. Yeah.
Rookie mistake, Rachel.
I think the last time she did that, he ended up almost in the fountain at Long Beach. So part of and I don't know if I don't really want to address that last lap situation in GTP, and I think Aaron got kind of caught up in that as well. But all I could say is when we talk about the GTP championship being locked up here now with Josh Chinsky, there was somebody else in the championship, Larry, who was pretty darn close, and things got very heated at the end of Long Beach. And all I could suggest is if you want to go back and watch that broadcast, it is peak popcorn. And,
certainly entertaining.
Yes, it was. All right, back to West and Speaker. And right behind him, Larry, are Vogler and Sircone now.
I figured because Sircone is going to be nice all night, doesn't need the pressure, and Vogler's had great pace. These two are catching the battling cars in front. Yeah,
and well, gosh, Sircone wouldn't want to say welcome to SRT Esport by taking his new teammate out.
Steven's in the chat having PTSD from Long Beach.
Yes, he is.
Oh, look at this. A little bit of slide there from Chase West. That might give an opportunity now for the Mercedes of Speaker to get a run around the outside. He just might do it. Now, can he hold that outside line? Looks like he has. They head down into Brooklands. Look at the defensive line, though. The McLarens can try and swing them. The thing is, the McLaren strengths are coming out of corners. The Mercedes strengths, I think, is more straightaway speed.
Straightaway.
The McLaren can plant coming out of here. And look how well he stays up under the back of that Mercedes heading into this old front straight. The question is, who's faster through the high-speed Cops and through Maggots Beckett's? My money's probably on that McLaren.
McLaren, yeah. Although, again, when we... before Hosea got knocked out, we saw where Hosea, I think, was a little bit stronger than the McLaren through here, Larry. And, you could see now here as a Speaker opens up a couple car lengths.
Yeah, that's a good. But the end here didn't get a great line. What I'm seeing, the way they use the curbs there, Chase West has a really good run getting out of there. Now he's got to watch what's happening behind him and giving the draft, of course, to the Porsche of Vogler. And Sircone behind him, but things are settling in. Sometimes you make a little bit mistake like that, you lose a position. You've got to take a lap, really, to get back into your rhythm, and I think that's right now what Chase West is doing.
All right, well, Larry, let's do this. We're about 35 minutes into tonight's 90-minute race, just about at the top of the hour. Why don't we take our break now? And I think in doing so, we'll come back before the pit sequence starts for our GT3 racers, and certainly before our GTP racers who have a slightly smaller pit window here tonight. You're watching the season finale, season number 15 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge here on Apex Racing TV. Stay with us.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts, support from experts that love sim racing, trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org. The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
Welcome back to Silverstone for the Season 15 finale of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. I'm Greg Ginsburg, along with Larry Lefty McLeod, or as everybody likes to say, the announcer's curse, here with our 90-minute race to the checkered flag. And as we say that, Rachel...
Excuse me. A little something stuck in my throat there.
Might be the razor blades, Larry. Watch out. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Halloween. Anyway, that was who? Can we go back and watch that again? That was Aaron Sunday and Keith Stein, I believe. Aaron Sunday and Keith Stein, I believe, from Rockefeller Racing getting together. Let's take a look at this once again as Stein makes the run, comes underneath the Mercedes, and there.
I gotta say, Stein, a bit too aggressive there. What do they call it? The vortex of danger? When you go in, somebody's already made their turn in, and then you cut under them. Yeah, that's a rough spot for Aaron.
Yes, the Randy Pope's vortex of danger or stupidity or something like that. All right, Jordan Butler taking to the pit lane, the first of our GTP racers to do so, unless you count Bobby Child's early run down the pit lane for his stop-and-go penalty. That's going to move DNA Motorsports' Tanner Dibble up to the lead. Just back, though, in GT3 Pro, it's Dam and Brooks still within, as they've been almost this entire race, Larry, within about a second of one another. I don't want to say anything to jinx either one of them.
No, well, I'm looking at a couple of things. One is I thought our pit window for GTPs was going to be a little later than where we are now. GTPs have run 21 laps.
Right.
And Jordan Butler's in on 21, but the pit window is probably not supposed to open to 24. He's got to do a lot of fuel saving to get there. Very unusual to come in quite this early, but we never know what's going through a driver, what kind of strategy they may have. The other thing is, there is an investigation ongoing Jake
Yes.
Vasconcelos, it just says driver under investigation. I would guess that it's the contact between Jordan and Jake, and maybe that's why Jordan's in getting some repairs. Meanwhile,
Quite
Bobby
possibly.
Childs
Another stop and go
decides-
penalty for Bobby.
right in front of Jordan Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably caught Jordan Butler by surprise.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah, so we'll see what the incident might be. If it is, in fact, the contact earlier with Jordan Butler that Jake Vasconcelos is under investigation for. Again, I've mentioned my opinion would be, without looking at too many replays, I think it's a racing incident, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. And Vasconcelos backed out pretty early when they got together. So, but again, not our decision, and that's why they pay the stewards from the SCCA Foundation, where they're providing funding for the SCCA Academy, training the next generation of race workers and volunteers that make real-life road racing events possible. Visit sccafoundation.org for more information.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
saw that car
a
sliding in the middle of that
perfectly
corner, and it was one of the SRT Esport GTP cars. I think it might have been Josh Shinsky.
good Chinsky.
Yeah, as his teammate there, Corey Sircone, was trying to come through in the battle with James Vogler. So, Chinsky not having a super strong night, but still right now only about 8 seconds back from his teammate, Jake Vasconcelos.
All right, so Larry, Aaron Sunday, after that contact, he did bring his Mercedes down the pit lane. And although the pit window for the GT3 cars did open up right around lap 20, so we'll see how long he's there, and if he brings that car back out. May have just used that incident as impetus to take his pit stop.
Yeah, perfect timing to be able to come in now. As you say, pit window is open. As it looks like Josh Shinsky's recovered from that little slide. He's got his way now past the battling cars of Vogler and, of course, his teammate there, Corey Sircone, and even managed to pick up another car, the Ilya Speaker entry.
And Stephen Hudek's in the chat mentioning that Josh Shinsky is running what I think we could all consider to be a compromised setup at this point after his run-in with the wall. But as he continues to try to chip away at the racers ahead, and I think he knocked down what was at one point about a 14-second gap between he and Vasconcelos now to only about 8 seconds. And Larry, Ethan Bass, we saw him back in that shot. There's Ethan, a little bit further back. Also turning out to be a pretty quiet night for him after he made the pass early on it was, I guess, Chase West in the McLaren. Hasn't been able to make up much ground now on Joey Rutledge's Wrong Stuff Ferrari. Ahead, still sitting, about 3.5 seconds back, I believe.
Yeah, Rutledge has had a pretty good pace tonight as well. Yeah. He's keeping that front four well within his striking range with Bennett, Edwards, Brooks, and, of course, race leader Dan. But Bass is just, everyone in this whole group kind of been just turning laps at this point. Everybody's just been settling in, maybe waiting for fuel strategy to play out. We'll see who decides to bite first. Well, it's not going to be Ethan Bass because he just went past the pit in. He's got behind him a Josh Shinsky ready to go on past. Good pass. These big, long GTP cars through these two tight new infield just makes it so difficult. And you can see again the back end snaps out. That is Charlie Hosea. More issues for Charlie tonight. He's missing a rear wing. He's got gravel pouring out. I think he might be calling a tow.
He might be calling the tow, exactly. All right, Dan Carrillo has brought his car down the pit lane. Carrillo coming into the evening, I believe third in the GT3 AM championship, probably second in the championship. Came into the evening here, trying to do math, Larry, probably 39 points back from Corey Saccone, but only 4 points up on James Vogler coming into this evening's final race of the season. And Carrillo currently sitting 7th in AM, now on the pit lane taking service.
All right, we got a couple of incidents that were just reported on. One of them is the system had said there was an investigation going on involving Jake Vasconcelos. It was, in fact, the incident between himself and Jordan Butler. And the stewards have actually determined incident responsibility on Jake with a 10-second post-race penalty. So Vasconcelos is going to be tagged an extra 10 seconds there. In addition, there's another penalty between the 84 of Keith Stein and then the 331 of Aaron Sunday. That contact was given, the incident responsibility given that towards Keith Stein. He was given a drive-through penalty for his contact with Aaron Sunday. A little surprised on the ruling there between Butler and Vasconcelos. Maybe the idea was Vasconcelos should have held a tighter line to the inside, which is probably true. So that's kind of the way it goes, but a 10-second post-race, 10 seconds in a 90-minute race, there's other ways to make that up. It's not the worst penalty. A drive-through in this case is actually much worse.
All right, Larry, so we should now be into that GTP pit window, and as so we had Jordan Butler take the early one down on lap 21, but just as I say that, Tanner Dibble coming down the pit lane from the lead in GTP in his DNA Acura. That should move Vasconcelos up to the lead, although it might be kind of close because Vasconcelos, I think, was somewhere around about 40 seconds back from Dibble.
It is going to be close whether or not he actually is able to take over the lead. He might, but let's see. Dibble, of course, going to be the front pit stall when he gets there.
Yeah. Not that it matters because Vasconcelos is still going to have to pit, and he also has that 10-second penalty to make up. I think it's more a question of where his teammate Chinsky ends up.
Yeah, to me, it'll be interesting is when Jordan Butler, if he makes it at the end on his early fuel stop, if he can hold off Vasconcelos now with that 10-second penalty that Jake is going to be assigned. So that's the real battle to watch, as well as Josh Chinsky, who had gotten himself within 10 seconds of his teammate. Is he able to stay ahead of Vasconcelos when the final score is revealed?
All right. Dibble now rejoins, and interesting, Larry, that even with 5 laps difference between Dibble and his teammate Butler, only I think around half a second difference on the pit lane between those two racers. I would have thought that it would have been a little bit longer than that, as we've got Travis Schwenke and David Fernandez, probably Ilya Speaker and David Fernandez coming down the pit lane. Noah Hogg now for Velocity Motorsports coming down as well. There he is in that blue and black Porsche.
As these two haven't really changed positions all night, Vogler and Saccone continuing this sort of game of shadow here. Vogler trying to stay in Saccone's, or Saccone trying to stay in Vogler's shadows. One of them has to at least flinch to make a pit stop soon. Oh, no, it's a big slide there for Saccone.
Huge slide.
It's in those slow corners. So usually the McLaren does a good job putting the power down. Maybe got a little bit too anxious with it that time. The Porsche also usually good at digging out of the corner. So that's going to separate them a little bit. I suspect one of these two will probably take the opportunity to pit here shortly, now that they're kind of out of the pressure zone.
All right, Larry, so Vasconcelos now coming down the pit lane in his GTP Porsche. That'll move Chinsky back up to the lead. As we've got 40 minutes remaining here tonight from Silverstone. And you called it, Larry, coming down the pit lane right now, both Vogler and Sircone right towards, we're at what, lap 25. So we're getting right towards the end of the pit window for our GT3 racers. Travis Schwenke going to bring his Aston Martin for service as well. So our leaders in GT3 Pro, Mike Dam, Michael Brooks, Taj Edwards, yet to pit. They're going to go at least one more lap.
Dan and Brooks have definitely opened up a bit of a gap. When we had seen earlier, Taj Edwards was right on the back of Michael Brooks. Michael may have been playing a little bit conservative, and maybe he and Mike Dam both up the pace just a little bit in their Ferrari and their Aston, leaving Edwards and Bennett in a distant third and fourth right now.
All right, so Josh Chinsky, the last of our GTP racers to pit.
Bobby Giles does not.
Oh yeah. Well,
that was his
forget
drive-through.
Bobby because it was his drive-through penalty. Yeah. All right, so that's going to move now Tanner Dibble from DNA back to the lead. As Michael Brooks is on the pit lane now. Mike Dam stays out, however.
The Wrong Stuff pit crew getting busy down there. Now with Joey Rutledge coming in right behind, of course, Michael Brooks. The Wrong Stuff team holding their breath. Last pit stop of the season for these two drivers. Got to bring drama somewhere. The pit stops in iRacing are like the easiest thing.
Good try, Larry.
All you can do is miss your pit stall. That's about the worst thing. And if somebody does that, it's on them, not me. There's Bobby Giles leading the way. There is James Vogler, your AM leader. Comes in. Corey Sircone did pit the last lap, so we'll see where they are when they come back out.
All right. And now the rest of our GT3 racers seemingly coming in for service. Michael Klimovich, Chester Guidry, Avon Dorsey as well. And Michael Brooks heading back out with Joey Rutledge's teammate, not very far behind in the Wrong Stuff Ferrari.
I got to applaud Kennedy and Anna both. Just they're gonna face this threat of jinx just head on. They feel no threat there. So that's good.
For a while, Larry, I we saw that they were maybe taking some of the pressure off us and going after
Let it happen.
Sunday.
Give us
Mrs.
someone
Sunday,
else to blame.
Yes. That's right. We didn't do it.
All right, Joey Rutledge has made his stop and return to the track right behind Michael Brooks, who's I think a couple seconds actually in front of him. Joey not as quick in and out of pit lane there.
All right, Larry, and Bobby Childs now on the pit lane, and from the looks of it, he had a meatball flag, so Bobby might have hit something on his way there.
Ooh, he hit more than a meatball. Yeah. he hit the entire
he might have been
buffet.
hungry, Larry. Oh my. We might have an early. He might not have been able to make it pre-race, Larry, but we may get to talk to Bobby prior to post-race.
All right. Well, thankfully, there's actual things happening in pit lane besides Bobby's broken car.
Yes.
Right behind him, of course, is your GT3 leader, Mike Dam, and then right in behind him was Bennett and Edwards as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brian Bennett from Sector 5, Taj Edwards from Orion, Oh wait, that was the replay. That was
that was coming in for
service.
That was leaving the pits after his service.
Oh, no.
Bobby got a little aggressive with the skinny pedal on the right.
Oh, so he's back.
Are we getting a replay?
Look,
We are. Thanks, John. We're going to get replay of Bobby's strategic pit exit. He releases the pit speed button. It may as well have been an e-boost button. Yes, Steven.
Saw that happen in
yes,
Formula
in the chat, Steven, he did.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Can we see it again, John?
This is on board. That's what Bobby saw. Let's not. Is this Bobby leaving? This is going to be a replay of Bobby leaving. There he goes. Wait for the pit.
Meanwhile, Larry looked just like when he came into the pit lane.
Oh, that's a tough angle. We got more Armco than Bobby. All right.
I'm sorry.
So to recap, the only GT3 Pro car that hasn't stopped yet is Ethan Bass, and there he is.
There
and
he is.
guess what? Right on cue. That's
right.
the commentator's prediction, not a curse, as he comes in. Now the question is, where is the rest of this field? Damn, Edwards moves up to second. Bennett moves to third. Michael Brooks dropped to fourth, but he's out there.
I think Larry, I think Dam should be coming into Maggots Beckett's about now. I just went through Maggots Beckett's, making the run down to Stowe.
Yeah, and then behind them, I think Bennett may have gotten around Brooks. So, yeah, you got Dam ahead of teammate Edwards. Now Michael Brooks effectively third, depends on where Ethan Bass comes out.
Yeah.
Bennett fourth, Rutledge fifth. Let's keep our eye on Ethan Bass, who's getting his pit service now, right as your race leader in GT3 is coming off the final corners. Let's hope Ethan Bass doesn't Bobby Childs
probably
it.
got about another 10 seconds or so. Oh, there you go.
Don't Bobby that pit exit. Don't do it. Don't Bobby the pit exit. Don't show us Bobby again. All right. Mike Dam.
Ethan Bass survives.
So Mike Dam does take the lead back. So Orion 1-2 in those Ferraris. Mike Dam, Taj Edwards, Michael Brooks in third, Brian Bennett fourth. Ethan Bass comes out in fifth, just ahead of Joey Rutledge. Not sure what happened to Joey in his pit stop. He was in there a couple extra seconds, I think, over the others. Joey Rutledge doing a little multitasking, we're hearing. Getting all the inside info here from the wrong stuff. The voice of the wrong stuff. Ken Copeland.
Sorry. Can you at least give it a 10-second penalty?
Bobby Childs blaming the pit wall for his issues. And you know, Bobby, you're right. That pit wall, it made a move for you.
The question is, does he mean like the actual Armco, or does he mean the D2D teammates on the pit wall? I think we know the answer to that.
You think?
Yeah, I know. So he's in the chat, Larry. You know, this might be the opportunity to bring him in and talk about what's happening with season 16 of the World Challenge, and there are a lot of other big happenings around the extreme motorsports world. So if he happens to find his way to the green room, we'll bring in America's hero, Bobby Childs.
He has to go to the medical center for concussion protocol after the way he hit that wall first, and then maybe he'll make his way here.
Larry.
We're gonna go to the 9th hole. What are you talking about? The 10th hole, whatever they go. 19th hole. That's the one. We're gonna go get a drink. Let's just say it.
Exactly. Top golf, Bobby.
All right, a couple of the SRT Esport teammates battling in here. Vasconcelos and Chinsky. Of course, Vasconcelos going to have that 10-second post-race penalty, but that's not going to take away our good battle here of these two teammates in their respective Porsches.
And Larry, you know, Vasconcelos, I'm wondering if he thought he could serve his 10-second penalty as part of his pit stop, because Vasconcelos was on the pit lane for 13 seconds longer than Josh Chinsky, and about 13 seconds longer than any of the other GTP racers.
I think that he was actually taking on minor repairs. The penalty they're going to give him is going to be a timing scoring penalty handled afterward, not in the sim, but I do believe he may have taken on some repairs. Meanwhile, race leader Tanner Dibble decides to make his brand new infield circuit all by himself and try something new. That didn't work.
Well, it looked like he was taking the Klomovich line that we saw earlier.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
All right.
So Larry, big changes here as
Taj
Taj Edwards now finds himself not only in second place ahead of Michael Brooks, but within just about one car length of his teammate, pole sitter tonight, Mike Dam.
Yeah, the good job of the Orion team getting a great pit stop there for Taj. Was able to make the leap past Brooks in there, but now Taj, and he had to gain, if you remember, it's about 5 seconds difference from Dam to Edwards before the pit stops. Edwards doing a great job here afterward to put the pressure on, and now Aaron Sunday is going to get a front row seat to the battle of the lead in GT3 Pro. Aaron says, guys, just don't dive down into my right-hander here coming up, but nope, they didn't.
So, Larry, ask and you shall receive, although I think I'm the only one who asked, and you definitely didn't. But let's bring in from D2D Sim Racing, driver of the number 17 GTP BMW M-Power, Bobby Childs.
All right, fresh off I'm assuming a whole bucket load of smelling salts. Bobby Childs. Bobby, first, let's get the incident out of the way. Was that just a pit speed limiter decided to spike power on you coming out of there, or you got some better excuses than that?
I have no idea what happened there. I saw one other driver do that in practice, and I don't know if it inspired me or what.
Were you the other driver?
No, I was not the other driver. I was. My personalities are in check. I turned off the limiter and whoop, around she went. And I mean, it's just one of them things. Like, I had a bunch of stuff happen in this race. It's like, okay, this did not happen in practice, but it's happening now. Why? I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you hit the toe and didn't have a full Austin Powers moment there blocking pit exit, because you can hear it's a tight exit there. So appreciate you doing that.
There wasn't enough left of the car to Austin Powers it. I mean, it just when I destroy a car, I destroy a car. I mean, it's
successful.
The only thing in worse shape than that car was probably my marriage. I mean, that's.
Well, I'm not going to go there, but apparently tonight is the night to have your wife or girlfriend in the chat ruining things for you. So why not have your race? Blame her. That's the only way things could go.
I blame the pit wall. I blame Mario. I blame Sonic. It's never me.
All right. So if you recall, you were supposed to join us pre-race for an interview, and you chose to bail. We're going to blame lots of things. But now that you are here, let's talk about the things
sitting there. I'm just sitting there. I'm like eating some snacks and drinking some Powerade, and it's like 3 minutes left to go, and like y'all are still, I don't know what you guys were talking about, and I'm like, okay, 3 minutes to go, man. I gotta go hit the banyo. I gotta get ready. So I had to bail, but I'm here now. And
we are thankful. Maybe I would have liked this to be under better circumstances. Wish you didn't have to wreck out to be interviewed here, but we do appreciate that you were able to get here. What we want to talk about first is, how is Bobby? How have you been? I know you went through a whole bunch of stuff in the last year or so, but it's been a while. Give us an update. How is the celebrity Bobby Childs doing?
Well, I kind of miss those days when Marco from your guys' Daytime Apex in England would call me MX5 legend, Bobby Childs. I miss those days. I don't feel like an MX5 legend anymore. I'm a good old GTP backmarker, man. I love the hypercars so much, but I just can't quite get that pace. I don't know if you guys saw the move Tanner Dibble made on me in the Acura heading into the final chicane complex. And I'm like, there's no way I can break that deep. And he just went for it. And I don't know, man. But otherwise, I mean, I just do the thing. I spend my time in Photoshop getting stuff ready for the league, and slowly building up all my stuff on my rig so I can get to being a moderately not famous streamer. at some point, and it's just me and the cat hanging out here now, so I have some peace and quiet, and I got a beautiful new granddaughter, and life's good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why I think I told you guys before. That's why I run the 17 now, is for my son-in-law, and now we got the new grandbaby, little Leslie June, and it's fun time to be alive.
Well, that is awesome. Is she signed up for season 16, or did she miss out? Because let's talk about season 16. It's coming up in a couple weeks.
We were trying to get her little play school, little steering wheel that goes on her car seat. We were trying to get that configured for iRacing, and it just didn't work out. So she's gonna have to miss season 16 coming up. She would have been right there with Leo and Lucas in the height range. Needing a certain amount of boost to sit in the cockpit, but it's not going to happen yet. We're looking forward to it though. She's naturally talented. That's what the feeling we're getting. Naturally talented.
Well, let's talk about that season 16. As we know, it's coming up, I think, for 1st of June. It's going to go ahead and start. I believe it's already sold out. That tells me there's massive demand for that series. So what's new this time?
It's sold out so fast, and we're so proud. We're so happy. We've got the LMP2 coming back. We're thrilled to have an LMP2 class again, and it's a full LMP2 class, full GTP class, full GT3 Pro, full GT3 AM. And man, it's going to be a great season. We got a killer schedule, and man, I can't wait.
Oh no,
we've got issues happening there. That was Jordan Butler. May have gotten in the way of GT3.
How did that come about? Let's take a look, Bobby.
Quick
I'm a
replay
few
out of
seconds
Bobby.
behind you.
That's all right. We'll walk you through it. As it looks like Butler tried to slot between the two Orion teammates, and really there wasn't a lot of room, and I think those GTP cars are a little slower through that chicane than the GT3s of Edwards got in the back of Jordan Butler. The stewards have got to take a look at it. It's into the Vale chicane. It's the tightest chicane on the track, these two quick 90s, and I think Edwards may have just...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's one of those. Yeah. That's one of those situations where sometimes the GT3 drivers have got to be a little more patient. We're all running our race.
GTPs are slower in slow corners than the GT3s.
Yeah.
They're a big car.
Yeah, and the 72 clearly has position. I mean, he's clearly got the position. And I mean, the GT3 just absolutely no patience at all. And I mean, that's one thing we're trying to enforce with the drivers. We really want them to start, really respecting each other's class races a little more. Not just GTPs doing late dives and stuff and putting GT3s at risk, but the GT3s will occasionally use those electronic aids to drive aggressively around the GTPs when it's a long season. We got a whole nother season coming up. We're all gonna be driving around each other. You get this the whole point of a league, get to know each other and race comfortably around one another, and that's a hard relationship to maintain when you're being that aggressive with the other class.
Well,
and it didn't take long.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I was to say it didn't take long as stewards have passed down the decision. Taj Edwards has just been assigned a drive-through penalty for that incident.
Yeah, not a real surprise there. As you say, Bobby, this league has got the right amount of tolerance, which is very little for moves like that. It's expected to be a lot more respectful. Yes, you are battling between your own battles. Maybe Butler could have waited until after there to try and stick his nose in, but once he was alongside, in fact, ahead of Edwards has to wait until they've come off that corner to begin acceleration.
And that's the thing, you can't race on woulda, coulda, shoulda. You got to race on where the car is. Yep. And that GTP had every right to the corner. He had clear position without a late dive. And I mean, it just, it speaks for itself. Our race official provided to us by the SCCA Foundation came up with the right call very quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Hindsight, I would probably still think Jordan Butler maybe could have waited, given the situation. The bigger picture is these two GT3 cars are battling. They're a second apart. You're not in a tight battle with anybody. You can wait a corner or two to go on by. Just, it's one of those potentially avoidable. Not that it was his fault, but there's ways as the faster class you can pick your moments.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah, but
oh
you
yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
Bobby.
ahead.
No. Go ahead and answer, and then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, the other thing you have to consider though is the different compression of the hypercar race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan can wait right there and lose, even more time for him. For him, that's going to be a lot more time than it's going to be for the GT3 if
Sure.
he, cracks the throttle a little bit and just, lets the pass be completed, because the pass is clearly on. In a different situation, you could say, oh yeah, Jordan, you should wait. But Jordan's running in a great position. He's got a 10-second post-race penalty now that he is definitely trying to make up on the driver behind him. He's got to have a 10-second buffer now to keep his position. So he's racing too.
Well, actually, the penalty is on Jake Vasconcelos, not on Jordan. So,
I thought Jordan had the 10-second. Oh, okay.
no, they gave that one to Jake. It was close. Again, good racing between them, but unfortunately, a penalty was given to Jake on that one. But yeah, I get the point. There's lots of races happening when he can't quite see it, so Jordan's got to watch out for his own gap. So, fair point.
All right, so Bobby, we were talking a little bit earlier about the upcoming season 16 of the World Challenge. Coming up in 3 weeks, we've got season 11 of the Ricmotech GT Pro Pedals Sports Car Challenge. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And I know that registration's now open, so people can sign up for that if they wish.
Oh yes, we are very excited about that one too. We really are still trying to position that as a feeder series for World Challenge, and this is a great opportunity to bring up, Joshua Chinsky and myself are taking over administration of that series, as well as World Challenge. And Joshua's done a lot of work in the back end to start building a really effective license system for our drivers to make sure, everybody's placed well for their best opportunity for competition. So this is going to be an opportunity for us, for new drivers coming into the league that haven't raced with us before. They'll have that opportunity if they don't quite have the credentials they need in iRacing officials to go ahead and jump in a prototype in the Sports Car Challenge, jump in a GT4 in the Sports Car Challenge, and just spend a season getting to know the drivers. Showing they have the chops in multi-class. Learning how our race control works, all that good stuff. And then as for how the season goes itself, man, I mean, the schedule, good grief, we're starting at Canadian Tire, then we're heading to Road Atlanta, then to Misano, then to the Hungaroring, then back here to Silverstone, then to Algarve, and we're going to end it at the Circuit of the Americas.
I was gonna say it's been a couple seasons since we've been at COTA, so there'll be a nice return there. And so it's once again going to be for LMP3 and GT4, correct?
Yep, Pro and Am divisions in GT4. Okay. LMP3 will just be LMP3, and anybody who wants to come in and jump in there. You don't have to have some kind of, high class credentials to come race with us. And, Sports Car Challenge, just head over to xmsracing.com and click that big red Become a Driver button and, come on, jump on track with us.
Excellent. All right, so let's check back in here real quick, as we are now about an hour, 15 minutes into this 90-minute race, so about 15 minutes remaining. And it is Mike Dam and Michael Brooks, your two leaders in GT3 Pro. As Taj Edwards took that drive-through penalty, that moves Brian Bennett now from Sector 5 Racing, who had a great run at Long Beach 2 weeks ago, up into third position. Joey Rutledge from The Wrong Stuff running in fourth. Over in GT3 AM, it is still James Vogler, with Corey Saccone running second, running a distant third. Slowbro's Michael Klimovich in his Porsche. And then over in GTP in the hypercars, Tanner Devil, your leader, with Jordan Butler running second, both from DNA Motorsports, and Jake Vasconcelos from SRT Esport running in third, as Josh Chinsky now has spent considerable time, I think, Larry, on the pit lane, and he may have just called it an evening, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's posting in the chat now. So at this point, his position wasn't going to change with the cars behind him being out, and considering things in his position, he doesn't need to go any further. He's doing just fine. Maybe he'll join us for a post-race interview anyway to talk about maybe how the points worked out. Oh, and that's Noah Hogg. That's not good. He's gone hard into the wall there.
And for once, it's not my fault, Larry.
No, but his girlfriend might be in the chat. Sorry, Ashley.
When's the last time you mentioned him? It could still be your fault.
I think it was. I think it was a month ago.
That looked like a sim issue. I mean, he just full throttled all the way into the wall. Huh. Ashley not happy.
And then again straight into the wall as if he had no steering input whatsoever.
Let's see. Oh, yep, that was an I turn here. Good luck, everyone else, for sure.
All right, well, that I think is going to effectively end Noah Hogg's run as he now falls down the 8th, and he joins Bobby Childs on the pit lane.
Yep. We'll swap car parts. We'll build something unique out of what's left of mine and what's left of his.
It's all German, but they're only meant to be put together once, not multiple times, Bobby.
Yep. And guys, I got to say real quick, big shout out to Rachel OHND. I just shared an image that she sent to me. It's on your Discord now for my granddaughter, and oh my God, it is the sweetest thing. And big shout out to her. I don't know if you guys can just show it real quick. I'd love it if you could.
Right,
but oh man, thank you so much, Rachel.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get that up. Yeah, well, we're working on it.
Yep.
Putting John to work tonight. I thought that was
our
job, Greg.
Things can't be easy with Bobby in the booth. It never is.
No, never
even
is.
Back in the old NASCAR days, it was tough stuff, tough sledding with Bobby.
So, Larry, didn't you say that Bobby had to sing tonight?
I did. Bobby, what are you going to sing for us tonight? It's been a while since we've been serenaded.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
What do we have any requests?
We're showing. Hang on a second. We're showing the picture that you were just talking about.
Let me not ruin
Leslie June,
the grandbaby.
Leslie June in her prototype.
I'm looking to see awesome. where.
Yeah, that is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, isn't that the cutest thing?
Yeah, one, I'm looking for the D2D logo, but I'm also looking to see if there's like an Easter egg there with Larry tied up in a bathtub somewhere.
No, I doubt anybody would. Yeah, not with my granddaughter around.
Yeah, don't mess with that.
That's Larry being
Rachel
tied
did that.
up is when y'all take the week off and we get the other broadcasters. we know what's up.
Rachel's giving credit to ChatGPT, so there you go. ChatGPT might have actually put a picture of me being tied up in the basement. Who knows?
I think you'd do better in a bell jar.
You think?
Yeah. Okay, so you said I gotta sing. What do you want to hear, man?
What do you got? You got something upbeat, something fun, maybe a little bit of something to celebrate the end of the season.
Oh, what would be the end of the season, man? I don't know. Like you're putting me on the spot here. I didn't plan anything. How about a little? You want to hear a little country?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Well, I dozed off in the back of the bus to the drone of the Greyhound throttle. Spoke to the crack of a paper sack and a cork popping from a bottle. Yes, the old man said it was hell in World War II. As he rolled his pant leg, I saw the wood that filled his shoe. A younger man that followed him in opened up his vest. showed the older soldier where he'd caught one in the chest. Both of them had purple hearts for the hell that they'd been through. I ain't got no purple heart. Mine's just black and blue, 'cause love is a never-ending war. March me off to action, I'm well trained for what's in store. You win some and you lose some, but I believe in what I'm fighting for. 'Cause love is a never-ending war. There you go.
Thank you. That was awesome. Little round of applause there for Bobby.
A little
well done.
tiny, a smidgen.
You actually have a little talent. You could make it in that biz. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's the only
And
thing about
Nashville,
me.
do your
That's,
thing.
the rest of me is so big, my talent's so little.
That's what
know,
they call
that's
Bobby,
the-
little talent.
Little talent,
Well, thank you for serenading us. That was awesome. Really appreciate that. Before we send you away, I give you a
It's
chance.
not quite Russ with his trumpet, but I get by.
I mean, we got a whole lineup of musicians. We got No Hog ready to get in here and play for us. We got a few others, so we appreciate that you actually stepped up to it and pulled one out tonight. So that was awesome.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, and so 10 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go in this race, in this season of the World Challenge. Any other thoughts from you as we're almost wrapping things up here?
Just how excited I am about the next season coming up, both of World Challenge and of Sports Car Challenge. Again, that series is wide open for registration. Go to xmsracing.com, click that big red Become a Driver button, come jump on the track with us. You'll be right here on Apex Racing TV on Monday nights with Larry and Greg and sometimes me, and maybe Marco will come back and call you an MX-5 legend with his Count Chocula voice. Who knows? Who knows? But it's going to be fun.
I think we should have maybe Ken Copeland and Stephen Hudak doing the broadcast while Greg and I actually get into the race. What do we think about that?
Hey, man, there you go. We'll
throwing it out there.
We'll do opposite day. Hey, we got the Thursday series coming up. That might be the great time.
I hope there's an opportunity there, too. That would be too much fun.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Don't
Nothing I would enjoy more. Nothing I would
Yep.
enjoy more. That'd be a good time. All right, Bobby. It's been good. We got about 8 more minutes of this. We're going to call the end of the race, but we do appreciate you jumping in here. Wish it was under better circumstances. I wish it wasn't while the D2D team was fixing your terribly torn up race car.
That's right.
But we do appreciate you took the chance to come and join us here, and it's always
thanks,
a pleasure.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity to promote the series and talk a little bit about things, and y'all enjoy it the rest of the way.
All right. Thanks, Bobby.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much to Bobby Childs, D2D GTP BMW racer. And Larry, just as we were signing off with Bobby, had a great shot of Corey Sircone as he's trying to recover from that little spin, not spin, slide earlier. Trying to catch back up to James Vogler. Nice pass on Ilya Speaker in the Rockefeller Racing Mercedes there, and he's starting to close things back up. Now only about 2.5 seconds back from James Vogler as this final race of the season winds down, and I'm sure that that Sircone would like nothing more than to take 7 wins out of 8 races here this week, or this season, pardon me.
Sure, he would love to. Of course, he's got an Aaron Sunday OHND on the track in between them. He's a lap down from them, but he will be there about the same time that Sircone closes in, as I think that might have been, that's one of the DNA entries there in front. I think that's actually Jordan Butler splitting the difference here between them. Of course, Sircone's going to try and grab a draft any way he can. Try and catch up to Vogler. Sounds like Vogler's going to be an SRT Esport next season anyway. So Corey just wants to catch his future teammate.
So we're saying, wondering if there are team orders in place already.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over at GT3 Pro, Mike Dam continues to lead there. 2.5 seconds now over Michael Brooks. Bennett's about 6 seconds back from there. Rutledge another 8 seconds there. Ethan Bass, who actually came out of the pit stops just in front of Rutledge, has faded back, and I'm starting to maybe understand a little bit maybe why. I'm wondering if Bass tried to make this without a tire change, perhaps.
I
Might explain
think
his
that
faster
that
pit
might
stop.
have. Yeah, because his pit stop, Larry, as I'm looking at the timing here, was about 5 seconds quicker.
Just a guess.
Yeah, than the Orion racers ahead. Although here's Taj Edwards now alongside Bass, and Bass making a move.
Yeah, Edwards must have served that penalty, and this is where he's coming out. Bass going to remain defensive. This is for a position here, 4th, 5th spot. Let's see if that Mustang can plant the power, not its greatest strength. So kind of run the Ferrari here.
He's able to point the big wide rear end of that car right in front of the Ferrari, not giving Taj Edwards many options. Yeah,
they are definitely wide. He takes up a lot of track cars, got a lot of power. Good job floating it in. Nice late apex there for Bass, just ahead of Edwards. Edwards should have the advantage here coming out of this long turnaround. But you can't do much with it, so you have to kind of bide your time if you're in that mid-engine Ferrari. See if you can float the car through cops. Maybe you get a run coming out of Maggots Beckett's.
Although this is an area of the track where the Mustang has looked strong, although it doesn't help, Larry, that he had to contend with. Who was that came by? Was that Butler that went by them?
And then Vasconcelos. That's the battle for second on track. We know that Jake's got a post-race penalty coming. That's not going to stop him from wanting to try and get around Butler here right at the end and come across the stripe second, right in the middle of the battle we were just watching, of course, between Ethan Bass and Taj Edwards. So battles on top of battles, literally intertwined.
And all with only 3.5 minutes remaining here at Silverstone.
Yeah, not much. Maybe just a couple laps here as Dibble, depending on where he is the race leader. Probably 2 more laps, I'm guessing, here for Dibble as he's just crossed or about to cross. Is he about halfway through a lap? He is. So maybe, this should be this lap plus 1 as he's turning 148s. Look at this. Butler, Vasconcelos nearly coming together. Jake's got the advantage there. But again, 10-second post-race penalty could put all this for naught. But the racing is exciting nonetheless.
Yeah. So, and you said it, Larry, almost getting together for the second time there. But both the drivers make it work this time. Vasconcelos on track now moves up into second. But again, with that 10-second penalty might be...
Hudak gives us an interesting point. Jordan Butler's the one that stopped very early. In like lap 21. Yeah, so he may have to do massive fuel savings to make it to the end, which could be why Vasconcelos was able to catch him so quickly and why he'll probably pull away just as quickly. But for Butler, he's got to play the game, make it to the end, and stay within 10 seconds. So this will be interesting. There's Tanner Dibble now. Taking, not yet, 2 more laps, it looks like. 1 more lap after this even. As we're just at the 28-minute and he's past start-finish. Look at this battle, though. I'd suspect that Edwards would be a little bit quicker, but it is always tough to make a pass around here. Bass has got good pace at times. Early in the race he did. Let's see if late in the race he's got the same sort of defensive pace now. Chester Guidry, I think, right in front of them, will likely move himself out of the way. Yep, there he goes.
Indeed he does.
Chester. Good move, Chester. He's not part of that battle, doesn't need to interrupt theirs.
A great run through Abbey for Bass there to lead things off, but you just see with these big open corners, Larry, that Ferrari just or probably, that is the Ferrari, just kind of hunkers down and pulls right back up to the rear as we jump back over to Tanner Dibble, now working his final, what we believe to be the final lap here at Silverstone.
Should be seeing white flag this
White
time
flag,
by.
yeah, I was going to say, he's going to get there before the clock runs down, about 15 seconds remaining. So
Well, if you're trying to make it to the end on a very lean fuel load,
blame
Jordan
Tanner.
Butler. Yeah, Jordan Butler, your teammate, definitely made this race as long as possible, as we just hit the 90-minute mark and he just started his final lap. So let's see if Butler has enough fuel to make it to the end.
He's got a lap and a third to go.
Starting to have my doubts as he may be struggling. But what's not a struggle is this battle. The one struggling here, of course, Taj Edwards trying to get around Ethan Bass, continuing through Maggots Beckett's, and Bass is just perfect car position and just getting the exits of corners that he needs.
All right, as they make the run down the hangar straight, and Taj Edwards wants to look to the inside, sees there's nothing there, moves back out to open up the corner. And again, the Mustang just seems so strong right through here.
Yeah, look at the positioning again, making sure Edwards has nowhere to go. The strength of the Ferrari reel is under braking the way a corner entry, but if there's no position to use it, he's got to rely on corner exit. I don't think he's able to quite keep up with the way the Mustang has the right amount of torque to pull out of there. 1 lap to go for this battle. Meanwhile, Jordan Butler, if we flash to that in GTP, Butler is now 9 seconds back from Vasconcelos. He needs to be less than 10 if he wants to hold on to second. I don't know if he can do it. It is going to be awfully close as he's got Tanner Dibble now has got a couple
on the
more
last
corners.
lap, Larry, it was about a second that Butler gave up to Vasconcelos after Vasconcelos got by him.
He's given up about 6 seconds on this lap as his teammate Tanner Dibble does what he needs to do, goes wire to wire to earn the victory here in the final round at Silverstone.
There you go. And Tanner Dibble, who came in second in the championship, that'll wrap up second place for him here in GTP in season number 15 as Jake Vasconcelos makes the run now down through the remaining corners. He's going to make it come down the hangar straight now. And Larry, he's got 10.4 seconds on Jordan Butler right now. And
if Butler's got any fuel, if Butler has any fuel, he needs to use it now.
Exactly. So it looks like Vasconcelos may just hold on to second position as we jump back over to Butler, and Butler saving fuel and caught up behind one of our wrong stuff racers at just the wrong time.
I think that Michael Brooks' car is actually faster than him. Michael doesn't care what's going on behind him because he needs to make it one more corner to clinch a championship.
Indeed. All right, so Michael Dam, who came into tonight's race 5th in the GT3 Pro Championship, he's not going to be able to overtake Michael Brooks, who's your season 15 GT3 Pro champ. Here, locks it up at Silverstone. Brian Bennett from Sector 5 Racing should bring his car home in third, and he does. Over in GT3 AM, James Vogler, great first season for him as a privateer here in the World Challenge. He's going to be moving over to SRT Esports, and he takes the win in round number 8 of the World Challenge. His new teammate, Corey Sircone, finishes in second, wraps up the championship here tonight, winning 6 out of 8 rounds, and finishing third tonight for Slow Bros Racing. I don't want to break out the announcer's curse.
He's already got the checker. He's got the checker.
He's gonna do it. Michael Klimavich will take third tonight in GT3 AM.
Plenty of jinx out there to go around, but tonight it really was Dibble's night, start to finish. Tanner never even looked under pressure in this entire thing, winning flag to flag in GTP. But Mike Dam really quietly doing the same thing in GT3 Pro. We haven't seen that kind of dominant performance out of Mike Dam. Part of that might have been Michael Brooks didn't need to challenge for the win. He just needed to finish, and that he did, maybe with barely enough fuel. As Brian Bennett's
looking like
pushing Michael Brooks for the photo op. I can't wait to talk to Michael. I can't wait to talk to all these drivers, the championship winners, the race winners. It's going to be a good time.
There you go. As we've got the two wrong stuff racers with Sector 5's Brian Bennett sandwiched in between, and I'm just wondering there if Joey Rutledge is Just trying to catch a draft to get back home. All right, Larry, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to some of our race winners and Season 15 champions here from Silverstone, where you've just seen the final round of Season 15. We'll be right back.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best-trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Hundreds of name brand parts. Expert support. Ricmotech has you covered. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
Welcome back to Silverstone Circuit, where you've just seen round number 8 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. The final round here for season number 15 here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Larry Lefty McLeod. And Larry, as some of our racers are still trying to get pushed around a very long circuit, over 3.5 miles of Silverstone back to the pits. We've got Josh Chinsky, who's had some time to ruminate how he was going to approach your interview with him tonight. He is your season 15 GTP champion, driving the number 18 SRT Esport car, the SRT Esport Porsche. Let's bring in Josh Chinsky.
All right, Josh, you're on mute, by the way, but we're here to talk not necessarily about your performance tonight. Let's talk about the season as an entirely 3 wins on the season. You wrapped this thing up pretty much even before you had to take green flag tonight, but you still did. I'm hearing you might have had a compromised setup tonight. Tell us a bit about where and how you were racing in your championship victory lap.
Oh, very much so. So I got told on Friday morning at 9:30, my boss called me and was like, "Hey, what do you got next week?" It's like, well, I can't tell my boss that I'm racing for a sim racing championship. He'll just laugh at me. And so I was like, "Oh, I'm free." Because I was in my head, I was like, "I'll figure something out." And he was like, "All right, you're headed to Texas for the whole week." So I literally spent the entirety of the rest of the day Friday trying to figure out how am I going to race. So I got one of my friends, I bought it, he picked it up for me. So I got them to pick up a GT Light from Next Level Racing. One of my other buddies had a Logitech G29 wheel and pedals, and we threw that on. I brought my spare VR headset, but it didn't end up working. So I literally raced from a single 24-inch monitor on top of a PC that was like 5 feet in front of me. It was wonderful.
I thought he'd be racing with the big screen TV in the hotel room, like from the bed or something.
Oh, no. Hey, but I was going to. If it came down to it, I was going to take that Logitech G29 and put it onto a desk, and I was going to race off a TV. Like, I was going to figure out a way to start the race. So, because I had to. I no matter what, I had to take the green flag, and I desperately wanted to finish. I hate winning a championship off of not being able to finish the race. The ergonomics, I just was in so much pain. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't race another 25 minutes.
Well done all season long. You've been dominant. You've been right there the whole season long. And of course, Steven, your teammates in the chat all night long, telling us every little moment of what's happening. So we appreciate it. He's the one that told us that you had this great setup there at your hotel in Texas. But a huge thanks to, of course, Steven, giving us all the updates of all the SRT eSport drivers. But for you, it's a championship clinched. It's a wonderful job to do it. This is a tough series to do it in. Tell me a bit about what this means to you. Obviously, you went out of your way to get to a hotel with some borrowed sim setup. Must mean something to you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this means the world to me. To be able to win a championship in GTP. I mean, I can't remember if it's been brought up in prior seasons. I mean, in prior interviews, but I'd never driven a GTP prior to this season. Ever. Never touched it. The only protos I'd driven was an LMP2 and the LMP3. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, I just want to finish top 5 in the championship. And it was a roller coaster season for me. Started with the 499, and it did not mesh with Daytona. I didn't finish that race either. Watkins, I got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit. I had started from the back of the field, worked my way from 16th to 4th, and then finished 8th. So it's a crazy season, but it means everything, because now this completes the trifecta of prototype championships for me. I made the joke within SRT of that I could die happy now, because I have won a championship in every prototype in the series. Yeah, it's just there's nothing else to say. I mean, it's an all-time high right now. It doesn't matter how I won it. Doesn't matter. I mean, I recognize that Bailey wasn't here. Steven missed a few races, but we still have some absolutely incredible competition in Tanner Dibble. And I mean, up until last week, Zhao was a great competitor. So, I mean, it's still, I had to try my hardest and do whatever it took to try and finish on top. They absolutely didn't make it easy on me.
Yeah, and he responded well with these wins. The second half of the season has been all about you, and it's been a ton of fun to watch. So if you're looking for another challenge, though, you could do what Bailey did and go jump into GT3s for a season. Just saying, I'm not trying to push you into another new thing to try, but you can try it.
No, next season I'm unfortunately not going to be racing, starting a new job, and also moving. I would miss too many races, so taking a season off. But then when I come back, I do plan on hopping into that Corvette and seeing what I can do.
It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. And if you're getting a new job, let's just tell your old job, like, hey, I got a race next week. I can't be traveling to Texas for you. Not going to tell you how to handle it.
This is the new job.
Oh, okay, good. Smart move then, actually.
Very good choice.
I'm 3 weeks into my new job, and they're shipping me down to Dallas in a month. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to.
Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations again on winning this championship. As you say, the trifecta now with the LMP3, LMP2s, and now you've got your GTP. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? I know you've probably got a list of folks to thank for helping you along the way. You know it. First off, I gotta make a big shout out to my boy JB, and then my boy Jacob for putting together getting everything I needed for the sim setup. This championship literally would not have been possible without you guys. Shout out to my mom and dad for tuning into the race. I appreciate everything you guys do for your support. Shout out to XMS for putting on an absolutely fantastic series. And then also to you guys for putting on a great broadcast that I get to enjoy watching
every night after the race. And last but definitely not least, SRT. You guys as a team, I mean, I've only been sim racing for about 4.5 years now. I wouldn't be where I am as a driver without you guys. Of just the level of talent that we have that has allowed me to push myself and reach better and better heights every single season. And I can't forget about that shout out for Corey for congratulations on his win for the AM championship. It has been insane to watch him race. I mean, even he didn't think that it was going to happen jumping in, and now we're all giving him grief that if he doesn't sign up for pro for next season, because he wanted to run the LMP2. We're like, no, not a chance. You're running that GT3 Pro. So, but yeah, shout out to SRT of where just an absolutely fantastic group of guys to race with, and then to just talk with day after day in the Discord.
It's a great group you got there. So they are huge supporters. It's fun to hear them, watch them in the chat. You guys are getting faster every week. It's unbelievable. But tonight, in this championship, I should say, has been all about you, Josh. Congratulations again on taking the win overall for this season 15 in GTP. SRT Esports, Josh Chinsky. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right, congrats there, Josh. All right, Larry, let's move over to GT3 AM. We're going to talk to tonight's race winner and then our season 15 champion. So we're going to start off with James Vogler, driver of the number 24 GT3 AM Porsche.
All right, James, what a battle you had here tonight to wrap up this season. You've had a great season all along, but tonight, great performance of just driving and holding Corey behind you the entire race. A lot of other traffic to deal with. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to run 90 minutes at Silverstone in a battle for the entire race.
Oh, it's a lot, man. I mean, I'm pretty good and soaking wet right now.
It looked like it. Yeah, it looked like that Corey was right there on your heels the entire way, like it was a sprint race. It separated a little bit at times, but you guys always came back together, even for the last couple of laps. Were you waiting for him to make that move? Were you just trying to not look at him and just pedal to the metal? What were you thinking?
Yeah, the latter, for sure. I was afraid if I looked at him, I would lose the car. But I was trying to save fuel as best I could. I mean, I crossed the line with just enough. But he's unbelievably fast. He's hard to get in front of to begin with. I feel like if you can get in front of him, you better stay there.
Yeah, it seemed like a great strategy tonight to try and be in front of him and hopefully stay there all night. We did hear a rumor that maybe you might be joining a team next season. You got any announcement you want to make?
I am moving to SRT. I'm excited for that. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, that is awesome. So that would actually put you and Corey on the same team. As Steven was in the chat the whole night, just so happy that you're going to be joining the SRT eSport team now. So we're looking forward to that. In terms of your own development, do you think that's going to help you develop, get to the next level, and maybe be in front of Corey more often?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything about Corey, but it'll. I mean, just a couple of.
He's a
weeks that I've
teammate
been
now.
talking.
You can trash talk.
That's true. But even just a couple of weeks that I've been, talking to the guys and dealing with them on Discord. And, I mean, it's a good group of guys on there, and they're very open to help. They're available, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, well, they're definitely getting a good one here, as you showed tonight. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of concentration to be able to run that pure of a race, to make sure that you don't give up even a mistake in there in 90 minutes. That is tough to do, and tonight did a wonderful job winning this class. But I know you've got folks you probably want to give a shout out to, maybe new teammates, maybe the old team, maybe some others that might have been watching in tonight.
Oh yeah, well, first off, congratulations to Corey. I mean, he gets the AM winner of the season. SRT for letting me come and race with him. I'm gonna have looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I feel like any good man should thank his wife for allowing me to do this every night, just about. So that's a big one. And you guys, for sure, for putting it on. It's a good time.
We always enjoy putting the race on and getting a chance to call them, and smart man to call out and thank his wife. It's the smart ones that know to do that. So well done there. All right. So Getting the win here tonight in this season 15 finale at Silverstone from SRT Esports, your race winner name, James Vogler. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right, congrats there, James. All right, so Larry, let's move from new SRT Esport driver to not quite as new SRT Esport driver, taking the season 15 championship in GT3 AM. It's Corey Sircone.
All right, Corey, I think you may have had this championship wrapped up even before you stepped in tonight, but that didn't seem to stop you from putting on quite a show between yourself and James. Unbelievable racing between the two of you. Tell me about what your strategy was. Were you just trying to push him into a mistake and he wasn't responding?
I was just trying to play keep up with him. I seemed to, I don't know what I did, if I burned my tires out early or what, but I just, man, my car was just kind of all over the place. And it seemed like every exit he would just pull on me, and I really didn't really stand a chance. So I just kind of fell in line, and I really just didn't want to make any mistakes and, you know, ruin my race or anybody else's. So, but if the opportunity arose, I was going to jump on it. But he had a hell of a race and kept it together, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like an absolute ton of fun. But let's take this all into the bigger picture now. As 8 races in this season, you managed to win a whole mess of them. I can't even count them. I think you had 4 or 5 wins in a row even at one point. So
6, Larry.
6? Is that the number, Greg?
6,
wow,
Larry.
6 wins and a couple of second places to throw on top of that. That's a pretty darn solid season for you to clinch this championship. What does this mean to you? You know, what kind of success have you had elsewhere? What does it mean to try to have and able to have the success here in this series?
Well, this is the first series I've jumped in over a year, and I know I mentioned it before. That's why I kind of jumped in the AM class, because I haven't raced in over a year, and I figured I'd be kind of slow, but I seemed to pick it up pretty quickly, and you know, really got my confidence going. And I guess maybe it's time to do some officials here and there, and, you know, try and see where my I rating truly should be instead of where it's at. But since I've joined this league, I haven't done any official racing. I've just been kind of practicing for this, and, you know, it's been great. And
don't feel too bad. Your I rating, it's still higher than Greg's. It's okay.
That is true.
Well, if you look at my history, my last probably 6 or 7 races was either disconnects or somebody taking me out. So just like, it's not even worth it anymore.
The racing here in this series is certainly a lot cleaner and more rewarding than anything you'll get in the public life. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But awesome job this whole season. It has been just from the get-go all the way through. You've been right there in every race, dominate. Your positions in overall in the GT3s has been up there with the best of them. And someone may have mentioned you may even move into the pro class for next season. And if that's true, I think it's the right move. And I think you're certainly fast enough to put the fastest guys on watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being in pro next season. And, you know, excited to get started. Time to do some testing on what car I want to drive for it.
Well, that'll be a lot of fun to watch, and you've got a good team behind you. But I know you probably want to give them and some others maybe a bit of a shout out here for helping you clinch this championship.
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out, you know, James got the AM win. I don't know if it's been mentioned yet, but he has joined the SRT Army and will be joining us. He'll be my teammate next season in the pro class. So congrats to him for the win. Definitely well deserved. Congrats to Josh, you know, another championship under his belt. I know it was a rough race for him. He had to sit in that play seat all night long, so, you know, hopefully his back's okay. And yeah, for the team, you know, John with our setup guy, he's been great all season. He's helped us all out. You know, Steven's been around. Sucks he had to miss a couple races, but, you know, great to race with him. He's always good to have on the mic. Who else? We got Jake raced tonight. Hell of a finish there. I think he got P2 tonight in GTP.
Yep.
And then, man, who else? I know we had a couple guys who didn't finish the season, but Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again. I know we have a full grid for, I think, GTP, LMP2, and the GT Pro class for next season, so it's going to be a busy mic. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We are looking forward to that next season starting there up in a couple of weeks, but you can go bask in the glory of winning the GT3 AM Championship here in Season 15, so congratulations for that. Taking that championship, it's SRT Esports, Corey Sircone. Congrats.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, congratulations there, Corey. All right, Larry, let's move over to GT3 Pro. And first, we'll start off with our winner tonight, driving the Orion Race Team Ferrari, Mike Dam.
All right, joining us here is your finale race winner, and I thought maybe he forgot our number, but he has not. It's Mike Dam in the interview room. Mike, great performance tonight. It's been a long time. How have you been?
It's been too long. I can't win anymore.
Well, you proved that wrong. You got to win here tonight. You must have done something right.
Clearly. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a while. Good to be back. That was just had to be a flawless race, I guess. I was pushing pretty hard the whole time, and Mike was keeping with me, so that was a good one, man.
Yeah, he was right there, and of course he's trying to win his championship as well, so he's got a lot of other pressures to worry about. Still managed to put on a great fight, and then for a while you had your teammate Taj right up there in it as well. Were you expecting that kind of a push to come from Taj tonight? Was that something expected, and was he pushing it too hard?
I knew you'd have. He's a field master, so I knew he'd have something up his sleeve. I was saving a little bit too, but yeah, I didn't expect him to jump that much. But no, it was good. It's a shame he had that incident he did, because yeah, he was having a good race too.
Yeah, he really was. A lot of challengers for you tonight, but none of them could quite stay with you for the whole thing. You had great pace from qualifying all the way for 90 minutes. That's epic to be able to win here at Silverstone. Of course, to me, it's one of the bucket list tracks. If you're going to win at one, you may as well win at Silverstone. It's like one of the best. But awesome job tonight. And I got to say one thing: you might be off the hook for singing to us. As Bobby was in here during the race, he sang for us. So unless you wanted to,
but Canadian.
Were you prepared for tonight? I'll give you the.
No.
You want to follow Bobby
next time?
All right, I see. Nobody wants to follow Bobby. I can understand.
No, nobody can follow Bobby, Larry. That's
actually a true statement.
Yep. He's the chosen one.
He was good. You have to go back.
We didn't choose him, Mike. We didn't choose him.
He chose us.
I didn't either.
He chose us.
Oh.
All right, well, let's keep the focus on our race winner here. Mike, awesome job tonight. It's great to have you back in Victory Circle. It has been way too long, and hopefully it won't be as long for the next time we get to talk to you. But now you get a chance to thank all those others that you haven't been able to thank for the last number of months. Who do you want to give a shout out to for helping you get this really well-deserved race win?
Yeah, thanks to my teammates, everybody at Orion, all our sponsors. Thanks to Frank at Ricmotech. Great stuff. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and just a shout out to Michael Brooks. Great season. Yeah, just consistent, man, and fast. So and also to some other competitors, Brian, Ethan, some great stuff.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun this season to watch. It seemed heavy hitter after heavy hitter in that entire lineup, and getting a race win is definitely not easy. You managed to pull that off tonight, start to finish, even flag to flag, unchallenged. Mike Dam getting the race win here from the Orion Race Team. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right, congrats there, Mike. And Larry, I was thinking, well, it's been so long. Maybe he should sing "Ricky, Don't Lose That Number," but that's Steely Dan. And it's not Canadian, but I found an interesting fact that did you know that Ricky Don't Lose That Number actually performed better on the Canadian charts than on the U.S. charts, where it reached number 3, and here in the U.S. it only reached number 4. Anyway, Mike Dam, he still got off the hook. We didn't ask him to sing it. All right, Larry, let's bring in our final interview guest of the evening. He is your Season 15 GT3 Pro champion, driver of the number 83 Wrong Stuff Aston Martin. It's Michael Brooks.
All right, somebody tell Anna she can open her eyes now. It's over.
Yes.
The race is over, and the championship is clinched. It is Michael Brooks, your champ in GT3 Pro. Mike, great race tonight, but boy, it never comes easy around here. So much speed out there. Tell us a little bit about how your race went and what your strategy was to try and win this championship.
My strategy was just to keep it on the track, stay as far up in the positions as possible. Honestly, check and check. Man, it's so tough on that Aston and on cold tires, especially on those tight corners. That hairpin right at the beginning of the track, sector 1 or 2. Man, just keeping that thing from spinning around was all I could focus on, because we did a couple practice starts and it didn't go so hot both times. So I'm glad I was able to hold it together for the race.
Yeah, holding it together, but you were challenging Mike Dam for the first up until the fuel stop there, and even toward the end, kind of closing up and holding that spot. Really great pace. So maybe it's just you think you're a little bit hypersensitive to those little things, even though your pace didn't look like it was too difficult for you.
No, I wasn't really hypersensitive. After the tires warmed up, it was all right. It's just a matter of different car dynamics. That Ferrari seems pretty quick out of the corners. It's where the Aston struggles, and we were just kind of yo-yoing. The first half of the track, the Ferraris would take off, and then the second half of the track, I would slowly kind of climb back up to them and get a little bit of an advantage, just back and forth each time. So traffic was a big factor, and then just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, very consistent for you tonight. Obviously, running up in the front of this group is not easy when you got folks like Taj Edwards, who had flashes of absolute speed, as well as the fuel savings that he was able to make the jump near the end. You had your own teammate, of course, Joey, had a pretty good run with you for the first part of this race. You had Ethan Bassett back there, who's won this championship a couple times himself, who's trying to repeat again. You had to hold him back there a little bit, and you got all of that. Do you pay any attention to that in a night like this, or are you just trying to, as much as you can, block the big picture out and just finish?
Yeah, it's really blocking the big picture. I mean, I knew I had to finish in, I think, the top 8 or something to get good championship result, and that would be with Bass winning. So I felt pretty confident after qualifying. As long as I don't make any major mistakes, I'd be able to still clinch it. But yeah, just trying not to make silly mistakes like I usually do.
Well, I didn't see any mistakes here tonight. It looked just flawless and tough to do in this field for 90 minutes with all of the things that are on the line to clinch this championship. So congratulations on that championship. And I know you've got a slew of people that you probably want to give a mention to, maybe a few of them that may even be in the chat here tonight for helping you win this championship.
Oh yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, big shout out to Anna. Always being my number one fan, cheering me on. My mom and dad, they tune in every single time that they can. Obviously, the rest of the team, the guys racing in the league, Joey, Jeff, and Chase, always pushing me to be as fast as possible. Big thanks to all the other guys driving in the league. It was a really competitive season, so it made it a lot of fun. Just a lot of top-notch talent. So I feel pretty lucky to be coming out on top this season, and thanking the sponsors, Abruzzi, Ubisafe, Dangerous, and then obviously, I say it every time, but thank you guys for always putting on such a great broadcast. You guys do a fantastic job week after week, and I appreciate you guys not talking too much smack and putting the commentator curse on me too often.
Well, we tried real hard to tonight. Those with wives and girlfriends in the chat did not really do so well tonight.
No.
You might be the only exception. So you're welcome. But,
all right. Thank you.
It all works out here tonight, clinching the championship in GT3 Pro here for season 15 from The Wrong Stuff. Michael Brooks, congrats.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. Congratulations on your championship, Michael. We'll see you next season, which starts in just a few weeks. And so, Larry, why don't we take a look at what we've got coming up here over the next month or so. Next week, Monday night, May 4th, the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Touring Car Cups round number 4 will be heading north of the border to Mike Dam's favorite place, No, it is not the record store. It is Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. It's Mosport. And then the following week, May 11th, the season finale of the Touring Car Cup will be heading all the way out west to Portland International Raceway to the Delta Park Complex in beautiful Oregon. And that will wrap up the Touring Car Cup. And then we've got the return of the GT Pro Pedals Sports Car Series. Round number 1, as good old Bobby told us, will be at Mosport. That is going to be Monday night, May 18th, and registration is now open. If you are a GT4 or a or LMP3 racer, head on over to xmsracing.com and click on that big giant button that says Become a Member, and you too can be on the grid and be broadcast here on Apex Racing TV. And then finally on June 1st, it will be the season 16 opener of the Ricmotech World Challenge. We're going to be at Le Mans. And that one, World Challenge Season 16, already booked up and sold out. You can't register now, but you can certainly join us here on Apex Racing TV, where Larry Lefty McLeod and I will be bringing you all the action with Jonathan Grabowski, making sure you got all the best views. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight and joining us for Season 15 of the Ricmotech World Challenge. We'll see you next week.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.